The 7 shocking recent archaeological discoveries that left scientists speechless. Have you ever wondered, is what we know about the past really all there is? Or are there countless secrets still buried beneath the earth, waiting to be uncovered? Hello everyone, and welcome to Ancient History, the channel where the mysteries of the past come alive in the most vivid and authentic way. Dear friends, for decades, archaeologists have tirelessly followed the traces of lost civilizations, digging deep through the layers of time to uncover the truths of human history. And the strange thing is, the more they excavate, the more they stumble upon discoveries that baffle the entire world. Unexplainable artifacts, structures far beyond the technological capabilities of their time, and even remnants that completely overturn long-standing theories. All of these are waiting for you to explore. So, what are the discoveries that have left experts completely stunned? What has driven scientists to scratch their heads in confusion, unable to explain what they've found? In today's video, we're going to uncover 7 of the strangest archaeological mysteries ever discovered. Stories that won't just surprise you, but will ignite your curiosity like never before. If you're passionate about history, fascinated by the unknown, and eager to uncover long-forgotten secrets, then don't take your eyes off the screen. Now, let's begin with the very first discovery. The 42 child skeletons sacrificed during 15th century drought. A dark and haunting chapter of human history has just been unearthed beneath the Templo Mayor, the mysterious religious heart of the ancient Aztec Empire. In a place once filled with sacred chants and spiritual rituals, archaeologists have uncovered undeniable evidence of one of the most shocking mass child sacrifices in the history of the Americas. At least 42 children, aged just 2 to 7 years old, were offered up in a desperate plea to the rain god Tlaloc, hoping he would end a devastating drought. And this isn't a vague legend. It's what archaeologists have literally uncovered, seen with their own eyes and touched with their own hands, in the very heart of ancient Tenochtitlan, what we now know as Mexico City. Can you imagine it? A mighty city-state, rich in culture and spirituality like Tenochtitlan, choosing such a bloody path to try and save its people from starvation. According to research presented at the Water and Life Symposium at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, the remains found at the Templo Mayor were carefully arranged, each child laid on their back with arms and legs tucked, placed neatly in sturdy stone boxes set into the sandy ground. This wasn't a chaotic act, it was a meticulously planned ritual. Some of the bodies were even found wearing jewelry, gemstone necklaces, and in some cases, green stones placed in their mouths. These weren't just offerings, they were chosen with intent. Children were seen as pure, and the green stones, symbols of water, were believed to guide their souls to the gods, pleading for life. But why children? That question sends chills down anyone's spine. In Aztec belief, Tlaloc, the god of rain, water, and crops, needed to be convinced by the sacrifice of the most innocent souls. They believed that a child's cries during the sacrifice were the most powerful plea to the gods, and a sign that the ritual had been accepted. Terrifying? Yes, but try putting yourself in their shoes and you might begin to understand. According to archaeologist Leonardo Lopez Lujan, lead researcher of the Templo Mayor project, the Aztec authorities initially tried to fight the drought by opening the royal granaries, sharing food with the poor. But when that failed, they turned to the divine, and the children, many likely sold by starving families, became the bridge between humans and gods. What's even more chilling is how all these details line up with geological evidence and data from the Mexican Drought Atlas, which shows central Mexico was hit by a severe drought from 1452 to 1454. During that time, crops wouldn't sprout, corn failed to flower, and hunger tightened its grip across all levels of society. Under the rule of Moctezuma I, while the Templo Mayor was still under construction, the drought not only destroyed harvests, it pushed families to sell their children for food. We can barely imagine the severity of that crisis. Picture this. The drought strikes in early summer, halting all plant growth. Then, an unexpected frost hits in autumn, killing what little had survived. 2 natural disasters, back to back, delivering a knockout blow to agriculture. And in desperation, the Aztecs chose the most heartbreaking form of prayer. In those ancient soil layers, archaeologists also found blue pigments, seashells, tiny birds, and volcanic stone figurines buried alongside the bodies. All symbols of Tlaloc, his face carved repeatedly as if to emphasize this was not a crime, but a sacred offering. But did the gods ever hear those prayers? No one knows for sure what happened next. What we do know is that the crisis eventually forced entire communities to abandon their sacred lands and migrate elsewhere. But the cost of that drought wasn't just lost land or crops. It was 42 young lives, buried in cold stone and sand, a brutal testament to absolute faith in divine salvation. The mysterious mural, deep in the Amazon rainforest. The debate over prehistoric civilizations has always been a war of words. Many legends may hold some truth, yet the evidence is often elusive and difficult to verify. Even Atlantis was documented in dialogues by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, yet no physical proof has ever been found. However, a recent discovery by a team of British and Colombian archaeologists deep in the Amazon rainforest has left experts stunned. A breathtaking prehistoric mural, whose connection to Atlantis remains unclear, but whose sophistication seriously challenges our understanding of ancient civilizations. These paintings were found at 3 different sites, the largest being at Cerro Azul, where archaeologists uncovered 12 massive rock murals along with countless hieroglyphs. The artwork includes depictions of giant sloths, camels, horses, and 3-toed sloths. Some murals even show scenes of daily life and hunting from that time. What's truly astonishing is that if the proportions between the animals and humans depicted are accurate, many of these creatures would have been the size of a car. Even more mysterious are images of half-human, half-animal monsters and figures wearing bird masks, raising the question, were these depictions of religious rituals, mythological beliefs, or literal representations of the world as they saw it? So, who created these murals? And to which prehistoric civilization did they belong? The most famous civilization in Central America is undoubtedly the Maya, which began to emerge before 2000 BCE. Starting from early agricultural development, a relatively complex society gradually formed. By around 750 BCE, early cities and large-scale ritual sacrifices were already present. Structures, temples, and even hieroglyphic writing appeared by 300 BCE. Eventually, the Maya civilization entered its golden age. Cities became city-states, connected through complex trade networks. At its peak, there were hundreds of Maya settlements across Central America. Then, suddenly, it all collapsed. For unknown reasons, many of these settlements were abandoned, left in ruins. The Maya civilization never recovered. By the late 17th century, the last Maya city-state, Nochpeten, was conquered by the Spanish, and the Maya civilization disappeared completely. All that remains are legends passed down in Central America, with many Hollywood productions using Maya mythology as inspiration. For example, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull tells of aliens in the Maya region. In the story, separate crystal skulls were taken and couldn't be reassembled until Indiana Jones returned them, reuniting the skulls and causing the entire underground structure to launch back into space, returning to its home planet. While clearly fiction, the key idea remains. The Maya civilization is incredibly mysterious, and much about it is still unknown and unexplored. However, according to archaeologists, the Amazon murals date back to the Ice Age, roughly 12,600 to 11,800 years ago, a time when glaciers covering the mid-latitudes had just begun to melt. Located near the equator, this area enjoyed a warm and humid climate year-round, making it one of the most livable regions during the Ice Age. The mysterious mummy, inside an Egyptian pyramid. Amid the vast desert west of the Nile River, once the beating heart of the powerful ancient Egyptian empire, a secret that had slept for over 4,000 years suddenly came to light. In 2020, at the royal necropolis of Dahshur, where kings and queens of the Middle Kingdom were laid to rest, archaeologists made an unprecedented discovery. Inside a pyramid once believed to be the final resting place of a pharaoh, they did not find the mummy of a king, but rather a woman. This revelation sent shockwaves through the archaeological and Egyptological communities around the world. After all, pyramids have long been seen as the ultimate symbols of royal power, exclusively reserved for kings. No queen, prince, or any other individual had ever been buried in such a grand and sacred structure. Specifically, when Dr. Yasmin El-Shazli and her team ventured deep into the burial chamber and laid eyes on the exquisitely carved sarcophagus at the heart of the pyramid, they were certain they had uncovered the tomb of an unknown pharaoh. But the truth left everyone stunned. As they reassembled the shattered pieces of the sarcophagus lid, the face that emerged didn't bear the strong, commanding features of a king. Instead, it depicted a woman, wearing a Hathor-style wig, a sacred symbol often associated with noble women of ancient Egypt. Everything pointed to one conclusion: this was no king. This was a princess. Right beside the mummy, the team found a wooden chest inscribed with hieroglyphs. While much of the text had been damaged over time, the remaining characters were enough to reveal a shocking detail. She was the daughter of the king, a princess buried in a pyramid, something never before recorded in the history of ancient Egypt. If confirmed, this discovery could completely overturn what we thought we knew about royal burial practices during the Middle Kingdom. According to Professor Aidan Dodson of the University of Bristol, even a royal daughter, no matter how noble her bloodline, would typically be buried in a smaller tomb outside the royal complex. A pyramid burial was a privilege reserved for pharaohs. There has never been an exception, until now. So, what made this woman, though a princess by title, worthy of burial in one of the most sacred and powerful structures of her dynasty? Several theories have been proposed. Could she have played a crucial political or religious role? Perhaps she was a high priestess, or even a chosen successor to the throne during a time of political crisis. The Middle Kingdom was known for its upheaval, not only politically, but also in terms of shifting royal rituals and evolving roles for women in power. Unfortunately, the most frustrating mystery remains: her identity. The section of the sarcophagus where her name was once carved has been destroyed, possibly by time, or perhaps deliberately erased by human hands in an attempt to obliterate her legacy. So all we're left with is a mummy, a carved wooden face, and a host of unanswered questions. Experts are now conducting DNA analysis and comparing artifacts found within the tomb to ancient records, hoping to uncover connections that might reveal who this woman truly was. No one knows how this princess lived, what power she held, or why she was honored like a king. But one thing is certain: her existence changes everything we thought we knew about pyramids, royal burial traditions, and the role of women in ancient Egypt. Perhaps beneath the burning sands of the desert, there are still more pyramids waiting to be uncovered. And who knows? Perhaps more forgotten women, their bodies carefully wrapped and entombed, are still waiting to be brought into the light. They are not just witnesses of a long-lost era, but keys to stories yet untold. And until the true identity of the Dashur princess is revealed, her mummy will continue to lie there, silent but defiant, like a timeless riddle, waiting for the day humanity is wise enough to solve the mystery she took with her into the earth thousands of years ago. The 2,300-year-old mummy of a woman with eyes still open. In 2010, Egyptian archaeologists uncovered the 2,300-year-old mummy of a woman at the Bahariya Oasis, located in the Libyan desert, approximately 186 miles southwest of Cairo. This discovery was part of an excavation of 14 tombs, and according to Egypt's Ministry of Culture, these tombs may be part of a much larger burial site. The mummy was found inside a plaster sarcophagus, about 3.3 feet in length, intricately carved and uniquely shaped. The coffin was modeled after Roman-style clothing, featuring a long robe, a headscarf, bracelets, a necklace, and shoes, clearly highlighting the influence of Roman culture during this period. What stood out most were two gemstones placed in the eye sockets of the sarcophagus. This detail gave the eerie impression that the mummy was still alive, creating a remarkably lifelike appearance. According to Dr. Zahi Hawass, then Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, the archaeological team believes the mummy belonged to a woman, possibly someone of small stature or a young girl. Even more fascinating was the tomb's unique design, featuring staircases and corridors, and believed to have been built around 300 BCE. In addition, the archaeologists unearthed numerous coins, glass and ceramic jars, funerary masks, and a gold fragment depicting the four sons of Horus, key deities in ancient Egyptian belief. But why were they included? That's because the ancient Egyptians believed that the four sons of Horus protected the body's most vital organs in the afterlife. The Bahariya Oasis is well known for major archaeological discoveries, and this is not the first time mummies have been found there. Back in 1996, a massive discovery was made. 17 tombs containing 254 mummies were unearthed. These finds date back to the Greco-Roman period in Egypt, which began with Alexander the Great's conquest in 332 BCE. Although Alexander was a king of Macedonia, during his reign in Egypt, the country came under strong Greek cultural influence, especially among officials and the ruling elite. It's likely that the fusion of Greek and Egyptian traditions led to distinct characteristics in the region's artistic and architectural styles. The recent discoveries at Bahariya Oasis further illuminate this cultural interplay, opening new doors to better understand the daily life, beliefs, and funerary customs of ancient Egyptians during the Greco-Roman era. Giant skeletons found in China. Chinese archaeologists have discovered the skeletons of giants in Shandong Province, eastern China, some of whom measured over 6 feet 3 inches tall, with several others standing at least 5 feet 11 inches. Fang Hui, head of the School of History and Culture at Shandong University, explained, "This discovery is based on skeletal analysis. In reality, these individuals were likely even taller when they were alive." However, archaeologists also found clear damage to the skulls and leg bones of several remains, as well as pottery and jade artifacts in 6 large tombs. These injuries may have occurred shortly after burial and could be linked to power struggles among individuals of high social status. The skeletal remains were found at a special excavation site in Jiaojia village, located in Jiangqiu, part of Jinan City, Shandong Province. Since 2016, the site has yielded the remains of 104 houses, 205 graves, and 20 sacrificial pits. These remarkable bones originate from a Neolithic civilization dating back 4,500 to 5,000 years. They lived in the lower reaches of the Yellow River, although little is known about this region during that time. Interestingly, Confucius, 551 to 479 BCE, the renowned Chinese philosopher from Shandong, was also said to be quite tall, around 6 feet 3 inches. The people of Shandong take pride in their region's notable height. As of 2015, the average height of men in Shandong was about 5 feet 9 inches, compared to the national average of 5 feet 8 inches. Fang noted, "By that time, agriculture was already developed. People had access to abundant and nutritious food, which influenced their physical development. Millet was the main crop in the region. Additionally, the people raised pigs, as evidenced by pig bones and teeth found in several graves. The remains of ancient homes at the site suggest that the people of ancient Shandong lived in relative comfort, with separate bedrooms and kitchens. By Western standards, a height of 6 feet 3 inches might be considered average, but in ancient China, this would have been exceptionally tall. This raises fascinating questions for scientists about whether a giant tribe once existed in ancient China, a mystery that still awaits further answers. A mysterious tomb with over 6 million human remains beneath Paris. This subterranean labyrinth is the Catacombs of Paris, a massive underground ossuary holding more than 6 million human remains dating back to the 18th century. The sheer existence of the catacombs is chilling enough, but the reason behind their creation is what truly gives us goosebumps. Back in the mid-18th century, Paris had risen to become one of the most civilized and prosperous cities in Europe. Yet with that rapid growth came a serious problem: overcrowded cemeteries. Decomposing corpses polluted the environment, and authorities had to act fast to prevent a public health catastrophe. Fortunately, beneath the city lay a vast, abandoned network of limestone quarries. These tunnels had hollowed out Paris's foundation, making the ground unstable and prone to collapse. Consolidating the tunnel walls and relieving cemetery overcrowding became a dual-purpose solution. A visionary architect proposed relocating human remains, the skeletons, from overfilled cemeteries into the empty quarry shafts. Over the course of 2 years, the remains of millions of Parisians were quietly transferred at night into the catacombs beneath the city. One might assume the catacombs would remain a cold, desolate place, but thanks to the forward-thinking leadership of Emperor Napoleon, they were transformed into an eerily intriguing tourist attraction. With so many bones housed together, the catacombs have naturally inspired numerous urban legends. Rumor has it that sometimes you can see apparitions drifting through the endless corridors. Some even claim there are secret chambers deep within, used by occult societies devoted to figures like Satan, Valak, or Paimon. A particularly chilling warning persists: do not attempt seance or spirit calling here, because in doing so, you might unwittingly open a portal to the underworld and become haunted by countless souls. 130,000-year-old fossilized mummy of a man found in a mine. The fossil of a man naturally mummified for 130,000 years has been named Altamura Man by scientists. Due to the crystallization of minerals in the cave over more than 130,000 years, his body now appears to be lying among thousands of coral-like formations. Altamura Man's remains are located in a highly inaccessible area. Reaching it requires a 20-minute crawl through narrow underground crevices. Because of this, experts have not yet been able to bring the fossil to the surface. Through a series of studies and tests, scientists have confirmed that Altamura Man was a Neanderthal. This is likely one of the best preserved Neanderthal skeletons ever discovered. However, at first glance, many who saw him were so terrified by his appearance that they instinctively covered their mouths and fled. A 2016 study based on DNA analysis from his shoulder bone determined that Altamura Man lived between 130,000 and 172,000 years ago. Researchers also discovered additional information about his teeth through photographs, video footage, and X-ray images. Like other Neanderthals, Altamura Man had larger front teeth than modern humans, while his molars were similar in size. Notably, his jaw, partially preserved with soft tissue, revealed signs of gum disease and tartar buildup. Neanderthals had broader jaws and lacked the prominent chins seen in modern humans. Analysis of wear patterns and tartar on his other teeth provided scientists with more insight into his diet and how Neanderthals may have used their teeth for tasks beyond eating. It is believed that Altamura Man fell into a deep hole that he couldn't see and was unable to find a way out. With no one to rescue him, he likely died from hunger and thirst, a painfully slow death. Characterized by a large, sturdy skeletal frame and thick brow ridges, Neanderthals bore a strong resemblance to us and lived across many regions of the European continent for over 300,000 years. Neanderthals were a resilient group of humans. In fact, they survived around 200,000 years longer than us, Homo sapiens or modern humans. Evidence of their existence disappeared about 28,000 years ago, offering an estimate of when they may have gone extinct. Dear friends, from ancient civilizations to mysterious mummies, each of the discoveries mentioned above holds unanswered questions and continues to astonish scientists. These findings not only change the way we view the past, but also inspire further research and exploration, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. So, which of these discoveries impressed you the most? Let me know your thoughts by leaving a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. For now, goodbye and see you next time.